Hi, everybody. The OT topic for this week is indoor plants and indoor gardening. So, we chose this activity because number one, it was got a lot of interest on the OT interest survey we did for a few months ago. We also really like plants, so it's exciting to talk about things you're excited about. But also, gardening has proven positive impacts on your overall health, quality of life, your physical strength, your fitness and flexibility, your cognition, and your social participation. So, gardening can have a lot of benefits, which is awesome. We also wanted to kind of focus on indoor gardening because as the weather's getting colder, a lot of things are moving inside, and indoor gardening and plants can sometimes be more accessible than the more traditional forms of gardening outside because you can put the pots at different levels. You can have however many plants you want or don't, so you can just make that so it works for you. So, at the center this week, we planted succulent plugs. So, succulents are a really great plant for indoors. They thrive in dry and warm temperatures, so that works really well for indoors. And their water storing tissues allow them to store up water, so even if you forget to water them for a little bit, it's probably going to be okay. So I know at our house it's very important to have tough plants because we are not always the best plant parents and sometimes forget about stuff. So succulents are good for us. There are a couple of different kinds of succulents that are pretty easy to go. So a few kinds are a burro's tail, a Christmas cactus. So we actually have a Christmas cactus right here to show you. Um, so this one's actually pretty cool. It's my great grandma originally started this Christmas cactus, and then my grandma grew it for a while, and then she gave my mom and both my mom and my aunt roots of it to grow their own. And so this one my mom started for me. So this is a very old Christmas cacti, but it's got really pretty flowers in the winter around Christmas time, and they're pink, so that's a cool option. Another great one is hens and chicks, or a jade plant, or an aloe vera. I know a lot of you have probably heard of an aloe vera, or a panda plant, or a snake plant. So another really cool thing about succulents is that you can propagate them to make additional succulents once they grow a little bigger. So that can kind of be fun. So you can have one to give away, or you can start new little ones. And succulents too are fun. You can plant them in some different containers. Really have fun with that. We have a couple right here. So this little guy is just planted. You can kind of see him right here. There you go. So he was propagated from a cutting, so he's still growing, but you can see we just planted him in a little mason jar like that. Um, this little guy over here we planted him in a mug, so that's kind of fun. He's still growing too. Um, and you can kind of see this one, you can kind of see we just planted the leaf in the soil, and now it's growing little baby succulents out of that. So that's kind of what we mean by the propagation. So, yeah, those can kind of be fun to experiment with, and they're good for amateur gardeners like me. Um, Another great plant to grow indoors, especially during the winter, is herbs. So herbs are awesome because they smell nice and they look nice, and they're really great to put in your food. They can add a lot of flavor without adding any sodium. It definitely adds like a level of class when you can say I just pick some basil to put in my pasta. But a couple herbs that are easy to grow: basil, chives, mint, parsley, cilantro, and lemongrass. So those are some easy ones that you can try to get started with. So most herbs prefer a lot of sunlight, so you want to choose a sunny spot if you decide to experiment with some herbs. You can see we have a basil plant right here. We've been growing him this summer. So he smells super nice. And I think we're gonna make a little pesto later too. So yeah, all sorts of fun stuff you can do with those. So I think that's pretty much all the info we have for you. There's a lot of great places online you can get some indoor plants or all of the garden stores. For the succulents we got for the center, we just ordered those online, and that was pretty great because they just came right to my door. So if you don't feel like going out and shopping, you can definitely explore those options too. And I'll attach a document with kind of some information about some easy plants to grow, and some like of the basic instructions for setting those up and caring for them. But anyways, I think that's it for this video, but thanks so much for listening, and this is actually our last OT activity video, but just so you know, we really enjoyed working with you all and have learned so much over the last couple months. Have a great rest of your week.